Switch ASMR part.
The thing that really matters. Okay, the thing that really matters. Remove and reattach a Joy-Con.
Whoa!
Was that from the speaker?
That's from the speaker.
Oh, I didn't realize that added a sound.
It's really good.
That's pretty cool. I'm holding a Switch 2. Ideally, you've already seen our unboxing by the time you're watching this pod or listening to this pod.
Is it ideally because you're not sure if you've gotten the edit done yet, or ideally because maybe they haven't watched it and they're listening to this?
A little bit of both.
We're pretty unsure about when that's
Yeah,
actually.
I'm going to try. Anyway, but yeah, we have it now. It's out the box. It's here in the studio. We get to do whatever we want. It's not tethered to something and you can only play like one game on repeat. We can actually jump around the settings and compare them to our other Switches, which is... I have my Switch 1, which was color-wired. I've had this forever. You've had a Switch OLED. And so you're curious if we'd notice more differences there. Yeah, we can just jump right in. So if you watch that impressions video, there are some things that we noted. My main two things about the Switch 2, it's just bigger and it's more comfortable because it's bigger. The Joy-Cons are bigger, the buttons are bigger, the screen is bigger. The battery is also bigger, but probably doesn't last much longer. But the whole thing is just bigger, which is nice.
You have much bigger hands than me.
Yeah, I mean, I think people all generally like the bigger Joy-Cons and bigger buttons.
Yeah.
Is that
when I hold that,
yeah,
I feel like this is a better size to just hold. Like that feels very large when I just hold that. The Joy-Cons are great, are better when you're like using them sideways, but
yeah,
it is pretty big.
Yeah, and then I guess my slightly more nuanced take is like in the same thing as the world of smartphones, where people in our world will have a lot more to say about the fidelity and the sharpness and the contrast ratio and the pitch black blacks of the OLED.
Yeah.
I think a regular person just sees bigger, brighter, higher refresh rate, and that looks better.
Yeah.
And so if you are in the more nuanced crowd, I think the Switch 2 OLED that eventually comes out will speak to you more.
Yeah.
But for most people, I think just this being bigger it just feels like an upgrade.
Yeah.
To all of the Switches that came before it.
Feels a lot like a Steam Deck, to be honest.
It's
that size, yeah.
Size-wise, I almost wonder if they were like, oh, well, we can make it bigger because look at how well the Steam Deck did.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm sure it was probably well into development by then, but
yeah, fair. And also just like, how do we make this console where we've kind of nailed the form factor of it already different than the Switch before? So like bigger is the most obvious choice of that.
We did this off the pod, but Marques, can we compare the unlocking sounds?
Oh, yeah. I was going to do a magnet sound. But
I just want to feel the magnet so bad. That's all I care about.
So you unlocked the Switch OLED?
Yeah, this is going to be Switch OLED, right?
It's pretty iconic.
So good.
Now here's the Switch 2.
No. What the heck is that?
Less reverb.
It's so wet.
It's so like staccato.
No, it's goopy.
It's cleaner.
It's like goopy and wet and resonant.
It's like, but it shouldn't be clean. It should be like,
Wait, on the home screen, flipping between apps, what does that sound on yours? A little high pitched. This is the Switch 2.
what the heck is that?
It's clickier.
I think I like that. That almost sounds more like the unlocking of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's clickier.
Switch ASMR part.
The thing that really matters. Okay, the thing that really matters. Remove and reattach a Joy-Con.
Whoa!
Was that from the speaker?
That was from the speaker.
Oh, I didn't realize that added a
it's
sound.
really good.
That's pretty cool. Oh, because your screen is on probably. Okay, hold on. Let me see.
Yeah.
Let me do the same thing on the Switch 2 now with the magnet.
Yeah, it doesn't. Ooh. That's kind of nice. I like the like.
Sorry. I messed it up.
That's so funny.
I like the momentum that sound had. Can you do it one more time?
Yeah, and there's a little. Just watch the display as well.
Yeah. Oh, there's an animation. Yeah.
Oh, it like. And I bet, and the right side's orange. I'm assuming the left side's blue because of the Joy-Cons are orange or blue. That's kind of nice.
And it kind of mirrors the sound. The sound mirrors the sound of taking it off because it's like push the button, pull it out, click. And it's like
It's nice.
Yeah.
I also think despite that sounding really good, David, from the OG Switch, the process of that is like the worst ever. I hate sliding it on. Yeah.
This has a little animation.
I want to try this so bad. I just want to try the magnets.
I feel this is Andrew. This is your first time actually holding.
I watched you unbox it, but I tried not to like really hold it.
So this is someone who's seen the videos but is now holding a Switch 2.
Yeah. So there's definitely going to be a much bigger difference between Switch 1 and Switch 2.
Yeah.
There had been rumors that the Switch OLED was originally going to be like a Switch Pro or some sort of Switch Pro, but they like couldn't get a NVIDIA part in time or something, so they ended up just keeping the same internals but changing it slightly.
That is funny branding because only like enthusiasts are going to care deeply about OLED display.
Yeah. Funny enough, all three of these Switches have very different kickstands. So the original Switch has a horrible kickstand, which is just like a tiny little nub.
It's bad.
That comes out the back. Yeah. That breaks off really easily.
Yeah, I don't like it at all.
Wow, yeah, it's horrible.
Yeah.
They made the Switch OLEDs way better. It's a big piece of metal and it like swivels really far back, kind of like a Surface Pro, and it allows you to do it at like all different angles. With the Switch 2, they sort of did a in between where they still have the angled kickstand, but it is now sort of like hollow.
It's full width, but it's here, I'll hold it up.
Also, is that plastic or metal?
Metal.
It is metal?
Yeah.
Okay, this is also metal. This is obviously much like wider and thicker and fuller, so I'm
probably
on the
more
OLED.
sturdy.
So I'm wondering if the OLED's more sturdy. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
the Joy-Cons are so good.
Yeah.
There's this magnet aspect is just such, and it's so interesting that it literally is just magnets and then like one little physical lever that basically is physically pushing it away.
Yep.
But it snaps in so nice. What do we call this thing?
The grip.
Yeah,
case.
the grip to make two Joy-Cons into a singular controller.
It sucked on the first one.
It was so bad, and
so
this
bad.
is so nice. And this mouse
Yeah, the
thing
mouse mode.
is actually kind of nice.
Does it give you hand pain? A lot of people are talking about.
I mean, I haven't used
I haven't
it
done
long
it for
enough.
very long. Yeah.
It's pretty good though.
Yeah.
But like,
Yeah.
I love these these magnets are the best part about
The Switch 2.
the Switch 2.
Remember when
for
we
sure.
got all excited because we were thinking that the button like reversed the polarity?
Yeah,
That would've
It
been
turned out
cool.
though this is like a very elegant solution. Like it's just the perfect strength magnet and just the exact far enough push off of the Switch that it will separate.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure took a lot of development time, but ends up feeling really satisfying to attach and detach.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, I honestly think that's the two hugest things, no pun intended, about the Switch 2 upgrade are the way bigger display and the Joy-Cons just being awesome.
I will say these bezels are way bigger than I thought they would be on the left and right side.
Yeah, they're still pretty big. I don't mind as much. I kind of feel like they're leaving room for... Are the OLED bezels smaller? Yeah.
Yeah,
they are.
It's got a bigger outer bezel, but a smaller sub bezel by a lot.
Yeah.
But
I'm thinking the Switch 2 OLED's going to be pretty sick
yeah,
and expensive.
I like how this has gone from since we first talked about Switch 2,
Yeah.
like they will probably make a Switch OLED, and then like throughout this day of having it, you're
will.
basically like, when the Switch 2 OLED comes out in
look at them next to each
2027.
other. I mean, the
I
Switch
know.
2 OLED is way contrastier, way better viewing angles.
OLED, yeah.
It looks, Switch OLED. It looks way
kind
better.
of looks better.
Yeah, the
fidelity wise. It's
it
just
looks
smaller.
much better.
Yeah, it does.
So I feel like there's no doubt they got to do an OLED version of the Switch 2. But the other thing though is, what was I about to say? The Switch 2 OLED.
Like, I'm not gonna cancel my pre-order.
Oh, the price.
but yeah,
The price. $449 for the Switch, which means an OLED version is going to be even more.
that is
Gamers can't afford this.
That's true.
If you're a gamer, you cannot afford this. I'm sorry.
To be clear, I was talking about like a gaming chair or something, but yeah, that's yeah. And then you got to buy the micro SD Express cards.
Yep.
But look at these speakers; they are very large.
Speakers are big and nice and loud. And that's the first thing I noticed when I started playing with it is, these speakers are quite loud.
Yeah. So they announced a bunch of updates. I think even today they announced additional updates, and they showed some reporters new games, the updated version of the new games. And apparently the newer Pokemon games, Scarlet and Violet, run like exceptionally better on Switch 2. And apparently they don't lag like at all. It's like a stable 60 the whole time.
Nice.
Which, kind of probably should have been the norm, but here we are.
Yeah, there are a bunch of things, a bunch of games I want to run and test for a full review. The other interesting headline that we saw, remember, there is a built-in screen protector on the Switch 2.
Right.
And if you look right on the very corner, you can actually kind of see it. It's not as bad as like I was having flashbacks to the original Galaxy Fold,
Yeah.
which is like it's it looks like someone installed one in the store after you bought it, and it's like, I should just peel this off.
Yeah.
It's not that bad. So it is a pre-installed screen protector, and you're apparently not supposed to remove it. So I did. I removed it. I'm just kidding. No, I didn't. Don't remove it. We left it on. If you want to install a screen protector over the top, you would literally install it over the top of the screen.
Yeah. I would never know there's a screen protector on that if you didn't tell me. It is really close to the edge. The article I read said that the instruction manual says not to open it because it will prevent glass shattering from going all over the place, which to me just feels like
it's not a Cybertruck.
It's a laminate layer.
It feels like it's like a windshield, but like also, I mean that's nice that glass shards wouldn't go anywhere if I broke it, but like I'm probably more upset that my screen is broken.
Yeah,
than
it's broken.
That
already.
it's not broken on the floor now.
Yeah, that's a pretty big bezel though, is it not?
It's a big bezel.
Yeah.
It's bigger than I thought it would be.
It's a bigger screen and a bigger body, and everything is bigger. The thickness, the Z-axis thickness, is the only thing that's roughly the same as the previous switches.
Right.
Otherwise, you just feel like you're holding like a switch that someone just like stretched in every other dimension.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited to be able to use these Joy-Cons and not have my hands cramp like crazy, especially because I'm now 30 and have pain everywhere.
That's when it starts.
Yeah. So, but these are made of what, steel? I think they're
The
steel.
buttons. So the
I didn't see that.
the buttons on the left and right in the inside of the Joy-Cons are steel because the magnets inside the Switch are magnetizing to the steel.
They're so much bigger. Like, look at this.
It's so much better
Look at
than
this.
the old Switch.
I don't know if you can zoom in on this, Adam, but like, here's Switch OLED buttons and here's the Switch 2 buttons. Look at the size difference.
The old Joy-Con,
Keep it closer to you.
Closer to me because it's in focus.
The old Joy-Con, the bumper you would put on with the wrist strap would give you a bigger button it was literally just a piece of plastic that pushed down on the really small button.
Yeah.
These new bumpers now are just even out putting the wrong one on, just even out, the top part of it and gives you some feet for the mouse features, but you're still using the buttons because they're actually good buttons. The SR and SL.
Yeah. It has this nice matte finish too. That's like a sprayed matte.
So I'm curious how long that's going to last. My Colorware Switch one, I also have matte paint on it.
Yeah.
And let me just say, it's a choice. Whenever I get something colorware, I have to think about how it's going to wear.
Right.
And if I use my Switch a lot more, it would be more obvious. But there's like shiny spots. Same thing on a laptop with like a matte keyboard. Like you get shiny spots. So we'll see how this ages. It's obviously currently in pristine condition.
Yeah, I'm not very careful with my Switch OLED. See, it's not just me. I'm not very careful with my Switch OLED, and it's definitely got a lot of scars and like scuffs all over it. So
yeah,
we'll see how it goes. But very exciting. I'm pretty excited to replay Breath of the Wild because I never actually finished it. I just got close to finishing it, but I didn't want to finish it because I didn't want to have to start over. And then I never played Tears of the Kingdom, so I want to play that as well. But
I am currently still stuck in a temple in Breath of the Wild. It like glitched in a weird way that like I can't revert out or get out of it. I'm just like completely stuck. So I have to just start completely over.
Well, maybe the Switch 2 update will fix that bug. Maybe.
Yeah, throw it on the Switch 2. It'll like find you a way out or something.
Yeah.
Sick update.
The big questions I'm going to have are battery life.
Yes.
Like, how is battery life? That's going to be a big question. Also, I would like to know how Mario Kart World is, because I was told by many people that this game, I have a lot of friends who have played this already, and they've said that this game is like much bigger than just racing around in Mario Kart. It is like the open world aspect is actually, there's something to it there.
I heard this about the open world part that sounds like kind of a bummer, but you still get the same like slowness on non-tracks, which in free roam sounds like such a pain in the neck. Like in your race, when you go off the track on the grass, you go slower because you're racing.
Well, you have the same slowness.
But if you have, I saw that you get the same slowness when you're like wandering around, which when you're doing that, you're only not on the track. So you're just driving
maybe
slower
when you're not like in a race, it would tear that off.
That's what I heard. It was in the free roam.
I'll try.
Also,
Let's see what the
Nintendo.
characters- What?
There's a crab.
Sidestepper?
Nintendo, please make an update for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate on Switch 2, because I don't think they've announced that yet, and that's crazy.
There's a lot of Mario games.
Well, that's not a Mario game. I mean,
That's
it's kind
coming
of
with the OLED.
It's coming with the OLED. Yeah. Considering it's going to be another 8 years until Switch. How long was it between Switch 2 or Switch 1 and Switch 1?
I think you're right. I think it's 8 years.
6 years.
It's been 8 years since the original one. OLED release date. I think that was only like 3 years ago. Oh, 2021.
4 years.
Side note, I've been getting into Forza lately, and Ellis had to explain to me the difference between the games. And your whole Super Mario thing, going off-road and being slower, that's kind of how it also works in Forza. In like Horizon Worlds.
So in Forza, you can also go off-road?
You can like drive off the road, and then you're just like going slower.
Yeah, but is like a free roam area?
Yeah, like the Horizon World. So I just learned this like 2 days ago. Ellis had to explain this all to me. But there's like a free roam part of the game, and when you drive off road, it's just slower.
It's also a crazy realistic game, and this is an Italian plumber driving a go-kart,
which makes it better.
Which is realistic.
This was the conversation we were having in the car. Forza Motorsport is a fairly realistic game.
Yeah.
I would argue Horizon is like one step above Mario Kart as far as realism goes. Yeah. Like there may as well be a drift
button. You can be Pokey as a character. I didn't even know that was its name, but the tall guys from the desert levels in Super Mario.
No,
not Super Mario, and Mario 64.
Yeah. You guys ever play 2 different racing games in the same day with drastically different levels of realism?
I don't really like racing games, so no.
Anybody? Just me?
What are the 2?
So if you go from like Forza to Need for Speed or back to Forza, like you play on Forza and you get like one tire on the gravel and you're like, you feel it in the controller and you're like, no, I got to get back on my line. And it's like, it affects your speed. Yeah. And then you do Need for Speed and you literally just drive in a straight line. It doesn't matter. On it. Oh my God. Yeah, it's a really funny dichotomy. But anyway, yeah, Switch 2. I'll be testing this. I'll be gaming. I'm on a couple flights soon. Big flight to Europe. Maybe I'll have just a Switch.
You're going to Europe?
Yeah, the whole thing.
Woo.
You're going to the whole of Europe?
Yes.
You're going to Europe?
No, just kidding. Oh. But the whole
European
flight.
tour, baby.
Hopefully it can last the entire flight. It probably won't, though.
It probably won't. That's what I'm most nervous about, because I use the Switch 2 mostly not in docked mode.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting. I've been playing Majora's Mask on my OLED, which is a Nintendo 64 online thing. And it's fine. It doesn't lag. So if this is not significantly, if the battery life on this is significantly worse, I don't know.
Yeah.
There are a lot of characters in Mario Kart World. A lot of them you have to unlock.
Yeah, there's 8 billion. That's why it's called World.
Yeah. Nice.
There are a lot of them. And a lot of them are just like kind of, you can be like the penguin.
Hell yeah.
The penguin from what?
They added the cow.
Penguin that you race down, like you luge against it in Mario 64.
64, yeah.
Oh, I wasn't born yet.
You weren't born in 64? Yeah. It's year based.
Yeah, it's just like the OS versions.
That would be wild.
Yeah. Thanks for watching this clip, guys. Later this week, we're going to have our episode where we cover everything that went down at Dub 2025. So if you're not subscribed, you're going to miss it. So make sure to hit that button, ring that bell, like this video. Call your mom.
Do it. Subscribe.
Call your dad.
Subscribe.
Volunteer your time. Vote in your local elections.
True.
And most importantly, make sure to watch this. All right. See you guys later.